Hello, everybody. Happy Sunday. Welcome to the Sunday Sketch, and I'm just gonna jump into it. Now, I know I said I was gonna do a one of the fan art fusion sketches uh, 2 days over the weekend, but I just I actually thought it was next weekend, so I'll have to keep better track of that in the future. But I am gonna go ahead and mash up something together for you here. So, one of the other suggestions that I got was to do like Dark Souls style Spider-Man, and that was a little weird, but I'm gonna give it a try. I feel like somebody must have done something like that already, but I thought it was interesting enough to go for it. So I'm gonna get my reference materials ready here, just try and figure out what kind of an art style that would be in. And I think this is gonna, this one's probably gonna take me a few of these sketches, to be honest. So I'm gonna go ahead and give it a shot. But it's probably gonna end up. I want to say it's probably gonna end up being pretty painty. So I want to go with the new look for Spider-Man uh, from the Civil War movie. I mean, it is a pretty classic Spider-Man look, but it's also they did some decently unique things to it. I think with the banding on the arms and things like that I don't think were on in the original Spider-Man costume. So I think that is going to be the Spider-Man that I go with. And then we're going to try... Oh, we're going to try and do this in a Dark Souls look. Okay. Alright. Let's do this. Okay, so I'm going to do... I think I'm just going to do that pose straight from the movie where he's got the shield, because Dark Souls has shields, so I could do that, right? So let's go ahead and try that. Oops, that's not the angle the shield's at. I'm gonna start off with a base sketch because, you know, honestly, everything should start off with a base sketch. So let's do the line of action, and he's got his arm kind of like that dealy, and then he's got his leg up here like that dealio. And the main line of action is really this guy right here. And then you've got your Spider-Man head, and then you just sort of build up the body from there. And honestly, I mean, I do love what they're doing with the new Spider-Man, but the muscles on this kid, like I don't think even if you are Spider-Man, I don't know if you're gonna be that ripped as like a what? He's like a 15 or 16-year-old kid. Um, so I do think that's a little funny, but you know what? It's fine. It's Hollywood and it's Marvel. It's just Spider-Man being Spider-Man. He's got that there. And for the amount of CG that went into it, honestly, I think it ended up being a pretty good look. There was, of course, that thing with the eyes that they did, where his eyes had those like robot camera lens kind of that feature to them, which I thought was a little odd, but I think it worked. I think it worked visually, I guess, but it did look pretty CG'd, you know. I mean, you know, I feel like I say that a lot, but I do sort of assume a certain level of intelligence in my audience. Because I feel like, not necessarily that you're smart people for watching me or anything, but I feel like people are smarter than I often give them credit for. Um, so I'm trying to. I do like to try to assume the best in people until they open their mouth and prove otherwise. Better to be thought a fool, as it's said. Now it occurs to me that if it's better to be thought a fool than to open your mouth and remove all doubt, I'm doing an awful lot of talking for subscribing to that train of thought, really. But anyway, and then just a nice Captain America shield there. And that's pretty much the pose. So we're gonna take this. I'm gonna start painting kind of underneath it. And I'm gonna start in grayscale. So it is gonna look pretty dark to start with. But I'm gonna take my paint. Let's take oil paint. Now let's do. Yeah, this is fine. And that's not quite the look I want to go for. Nope, not that either. Let's try. I really should get working on some custom brushes, but I feel like I'm not familiar enough with the medium to be doing a whole lot of that. Let's see. Watercolor isn't quite right for this look, I think. So let's do this. Okay, and then we're just gonna Another thing about the Dark Souls look is it's pretty monochromatic too, so when I go in to light this, it's likely to be pretty dark, and I'm going to try and get the aesthetic style from the cover of 3, that cover art where he's like holding the sand and everything, being all ashen one. Ashen one, bring me more souls. Give us smooth, give us silky, all that good stuff. Of course, Dark Souls is as a game series, you know, it's really cool conceptually and everything, but I feel like I would never have given it a try if I didn't have friends to play with it. Play with it. I just think I would probably get really fed up with it and rage quit. Because it's just, you know, I don't need my video games to be super hard. Especially the swamp, the freaking swamp with the with those dark knights and the right before you fight those what are they called? The horseman guys, or not the horseman guy. The guys that look like they're from Bloodborne. What are they called? Do you know? Do you remember? No. Okay, that's fine. The guys with the giant swords in the foresty swamp area, whatever they're called. I'll look up the name later, maybe. Anyway, got the pose, got some paint on there. And that's gonna be what turns into our blue. And then we're gonna take a lighter color for the red, because I think that's what it ends up being. Let me actually test that out. Ooh. On a new layer. If we make a red and a blue, and then tonal correction. Why is my tonal correction not going on? What is that about? Edit, tonal correction, brightness, contrast. It's not there. Alright, well that's fine. I'll do a... Oh, that's weird, they both end up the same-ish. Well, I want to say the blue is probably a darker chroma anyway. Learn something new every day. Alright. So now I'm going to come in here. I'm going to do his eyes. And I think this is probably where I'm going to start embellishing, is on the costume design a little bit. Yeah. So let's do something interesting with the eyes. Where's my... not on my brush tool, that's why. I've found that I'm not great at mirroring, so whenever I gotta duplicate a shape on, either side of the face or whatever, that's not necessarily one of my strengths. Okay, so then because we gotta have the Spider-Man eye shape, but then he's got these big black dealies over the top. And I think I'm gonna bring that down. Make it look a little like a helmet. Let's see. to be black necessarily. I'll add some more shadow to those later. Let's just paint those out. I'll build those up later. Okay, so we got that. Then we want to get that red on there. And I think the red's going to be lighter. Yeah, that's fine. Which actually means I probably should have done the eyes after this step, but that's okay. This part's all red. It's actually got that band there, so that's actually like the inside of the arm there. Is that part's blue, and then this part's gonna be red again. And then this tapers in, which I think is really interesting, and then it kind of ends up doing this shape here. Oh, that's a little much. Kind of reminds me of that silver or armored Spider-Man right now, just because he's all in monochrome. Okay, let's see, and then his arm has that band there. That actually comes in real low. And then that's about there. Then he's got the web shooters, which are exterior web shooters again. Not that I had anything against the design from the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies, where he, produced the webbing on his own. But I think that having the web shooters really helps emphasize that Peter Parker is just smart. He's a nerd. He's a scientist. He can come up with these things. It's fine. Don't even worry about it, man. And I think that was kind of missing, where he was kind of this nerdy school kid. I think that didn't necessarily come across in those movies as much. He still definitely nailed the awkward of being Peter Parker and being Spider-Man and trying to juggle your your personal life and being a superhero and trying to protect the ones you care about and all of that good stuff that makes Spider-Man Spider-Man. I think he nailed most of that. Just he didn't come off as being particularly smart or as funny as I think Spider-Man usually is. Okay, and now we embellish the crap out of this. So we're gonna take this away, clean this up a little because it's gonna be solid color right up in there. And now we get to do some embellishments. And so that's gonna be, instead of where his web pattern is, I'm gonna put in some flame. I've given this a little bit of thought, but I'm gonna put in that gradiated like Dark Souls flame effect from the Ashen one. So that's gonna be that bright red. And orange and whatnot. So we're gonna do your little spider symbol. Which is also a lot smaller, actually, than the past couple of Spider-Man they've done. That symbol's been a lot smaller. And then we're going to do some of your web patterns. Go over them again in this orange. I'm gonna take a look, see if I can get this fire effect kind of right-ish. I should probably airbrush some of that on. That looks better. Go back to our brush and get the white. I don't think the white went on that well. Let's try doing a yellow first. That looks pretty good. And then we do a little bit of white. Much better. Okay, so I already did a little bit of embellishment on the eyes here. Let's clean that line up a little. And then I think I'm gonna finish, yeah, let's do more of Spider-Man's web work here. So that he, looks the part. Of Spider-Man. I'm actually thinking he's looking pretty nice and ashen one already. Probably should darken that up a little. We'll start going to a dark red with less saturation as we, leave. You get it further away from the fire. Oh shoot! I did the webbing on his on the grayscale a layer. Always check your layers. Oop. There we go. Okay, now let's try this again. Doing the oop, that was a little large. some of those webs. There we go. I want to brighten that up as it gets closer to the flamey bits, obviously. It's not quite the right red. There we go. But you don't really need to be there so much as you need to be over here. Whew. Kind of just looks like Spider-Man with part of his face on fire. Which I guess is the idea. Now that I'm thinking about it, I am trying to make him look a little more like the Ashen One. A little more Dark Souls-y. Okay. So now, gotta add some embellishments to the body before we do any more of his patterning. Which we're gonna bring this up. We're going to actually raise this, turn it into a piece of shoulder armor. So that should be pretty neat. And what else do we do? Let's go back into sketches. I'm just gonna sketch this out a little bit more. So this is gonna turn into this nice plate armor bit. And actually, I think I'm gonna layer it. So we're gonna do this. So this is where his shoulder connects, and then this is gonna come up. And then it's gonna do this number. Make sure it kind of curves that way. And then over the top of that, so then we're gonna do the armor that comes this way. Kind of flattens out like that. And then we're going to give him a tattered cloak. Or, well, not a cloak, but you know, like a scarf deal. And that's going to be all nice and tattered up. And then he's got his web shooter, but I'm going to go ahead and embellish on that as well. Make it a larger gauntlet. Give him those elbow pads, or elbow joint things. As one has when one is a knight. And then we'll have this be, So this is the weird part, because we don't want to lose too much flexibility, because it's part of Spider-Man's whole shtick, really. But we do want to give him some armor, some nice knight-looking armor. Because that's definitely one of Dark Souls' design aesthetics. So trying to fit both of them together in a style is a little tricky. But I'm going to try it. I'm going to go ahead and turn this into not a breast piece, because his arm comes out here and he's got his chest is like that, right? But we're gonna do like kind of a big armored belt kind of a look, I think is what we'll try. So he's got the belt, and it'll come up here, and he does have a belt for in this with this the Spider-Man design has a belt that he puts his web shooter cartridges on. So that'll be part of that, although the belt itself is kind of up here. Yeah, it is, because it also goes into that like V look. So, so that curves that way. That kind of curves that way. This is going to be big old buckle. And like a fold deal probably. Let's see. Yeah, probably a fold style thing. That'll be fine. Shouldn't prohibit too much mobility, obviously. So we'll do a scaled one so it moves a bit as he does. And this one, you can see it'll be belted on there. So this one will come out here, and it'll kind of be hanging off to the side a little. Because he, has to move. And it's getting a little into ninja territory there, but it'll be fine. And then we're actually going to extend the red into one of those little loinclothy deals. Extend the red on his outfit to do that. And I think I want to say I'm not going to redesign too much more. I'll give him the shorter, I'll give him the smaller, yeah, we'll give him a smaller shoulder piece here. That's going to be about the same size. I'm just going to make it look more metal, give it like a rim on it and that kind of thing. Which actually means it'll probably be pushed probably forward a little. And then the rest of his shoulder is there as well. So it'll probably look more like that. And then the rest is just going to be what it is, I think. Except for the boots. We can give him better boots. Right? Yeah. Let's, now again, we can't sacrifice too much flexibility because this is Spider-Man we're talking about. But we could give him some embellishments. So we'll extend this out to here and make it look like an actual boot that's not like built into his costume. Yeah, that's what we'll do. We'll just extend the boot out a bit. Like that. And change it to be, have that stripe at the top. And then the rest I think will just be regular boot. Like that. Actually kind of like it so far. Okay. I should not sound surprised when I say that. Oh, I actually kind of like how my own work looks so far. I don't know. Sometimes you get working on a project and you're like, not super into it, but you got to get the job done anyway. And oh, the cats are playing with something. But anyway, you got to get the job done anyway, so you just kind of work on it whether you like it or not. And especially when you're in school learning stuff, it's just like, do I have to animate trees? Well, yeah, I kinda do, yeah. Kinda actually do. Because it's important to have fundamentals down. I just keep that in mind when I'm animating trees and whatnot. I'm like, I can do my own stuff on my own time if I want. It's not a huge deal, and I don't really lose out on anything by doing it. So oh, oops, that's the wrong layer again. Huh. Always keep track of your layers. I should probably label them. That is likely to be the best thing I can do. So let's do that. So this layer is gonna call that Ashen Flame. And this layer we're gonna call Base Paint. And this layer we're gonna call, what are we gonna call that? Oh, Armors sketch underscore armor. And this layer will be sketch underscore base. There we go. Now they're all labeled, so I shouldn't get them too mixed up from now on. Ooh. Oh. Alright, so I'm going to get some more of his pattern in here. Get some of the fire on his scarf and on his armor. darker color. Let's remove the sketch layer here. Ooh, nope. We're actually going to extend these lines all the way down. All the way down that guy. And then let's see. So he's got a line above the spider. And below the spider. And a little bit down here. And then from there we'll just do it like this. Except, you know, that good dark red. Meow, is that what you're saying? Because that's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing an awful lot of meow. Yeah. See, I told you. That's so much meow. Don't know why, but my cat likes to sit right next to the door while we're in the bathroom, or either one of us is in the bathroom, not like at the same time or anything, but while we're in the bathroom and just meow at the door. It's like, what are you doing, cat? What are you even doing? Okay, alright, and I think just finishing up the lines here is about all I'm gonna have time for for the rest of this. I do definitely want to finish this because this is actually a lot more fun than I thought it was gonna be. And I think the result so far is pretty freaking rad. So I'll be doing more of Dark Souls Spider-Man next week, and I will see you all there. Um, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you liked it, and if you want to see more. I do want to do these fan art fusions at the end of every month. I'd like to do a 2-part episode just because this right here took me a while and is still nowhere near finished. It could use a background. It could use it could use so many things. But there's only so much I can do in the space of like an hour-ish time. So if you want to see me try and smash together more art styles and characters and stuff, feel free to leave a comment, and I will get to that one hopefully the end of this next month, without if I keep an eye on my calendar. And yeah, I will catch you all next time with some more Spider-Man on Sunday Sketch. Thanks for watching, and yeah, bye.